Hi there, Stephanie Kammerman live at the New York Traders Expo with John Person.
Hey, what's up, girl? How are you sitting?
Awesome. John's going to give us a history lesson today on pivots. I've always wanted this, John. So go ahead.
Well, pivots, as you were mentioning before we went on air, that they're called the floor traders pivots. And the funny thing is yes, while floor traders use the pivot point formula, which is the typical prices derived from taking the average of the high-low close divided by 3. That gives us a pivot point.
Right.
Well, it's interesting that many traders, floor traders, institutions have been using pivot analysis, but there's one man who used to be a commodity trader that most stock traders use his one indicator, relative strength index, Wells Wilder. The funny thing is Wells Wilder actually had a pivot point trend trading system that he wrote in a book back in the early or mid 70s, which if I wasn't as old as I was, I could remember. But Wells Wilder actually was one that also helped popularize the pivot points, which not a lot of technicians really remember or have used in the past based on that. But a lot of people use his RSI indicator.
Do you use volume along with it?
I use volume. I've been teaching volume. A different method to use was an old tool created by Joe Granville. In determining trends, a lot of people since maybe 07 have really struggled with volume. They look at the volume histogram bars and price goes up, the volume goes down, and they think the trend is ended. And basically because of derivatives, options, dark pools, volume can be masked. And so using on-balance volume, something that I wrote about and did an article study back in 2008, saying on-balance volume in this environment is more efficient and more effective in determining the strength of a trend rather than volume histogram bars. So that's one of the tools that I use in determining for use of volume.
Oh yeah, I love volume spread analysis, high volume dojis. I've seen videos on you talking about that, which is awesome.
So a book I came out with in 2004 called Candlesticks and Pivot Point Trading Triggers helped revolutionize how to use pivots and candles and other technical studies, including,
Yeah, when you can combine everything together, your success rate is going to go up.
You improve you get a better edge, and you can see almost the footprints of maybe institutions, which a good story is way back in 2017, early 17, when IBM was near 180.
Right.
And you can clearly see the high of that trend, of that trade, and was formed by a daily doji, and it started to sell off. But if you look at a chart on IBM in March of 2017, you'll also throw up a histogram of volume and on-balance volume, and you'll see as prices were moving up, the on-balance volume was moving down, causing a divergence.
Right.
Well, 2 months later or 6 weeks later on an interview, Warren Buffett said as IBM was trading in the 150, upper 140s, Berkshire Hathaway had been liquidating their stake in IBM near the highs at 180. So when you say I can kind of see the paths of institutions maybe distributing stock, the on-balance volume has been a very useful tool in this environment.
Yeah, I use dark pool volume, which I think is very, very helpful.
Yes.
Yeah, but I love volume and I love your pivots, and thank you so much for coming here today.
Thanks for having me.
It's been awesome.
Very nice. Thank you.